Thank you for joining Sea Love Yoga's YouTube channel, and today we are going to Varanasi, India. We are no longer using our bus and saying goodbye to our bus drivers because we're flying. And this is Trudy and I going to Delhi. This was a funny sign because this was at the airport. Who was spitting? Because this is really an issue, and it was right before we boarded the plane, so I was like, are people spitting on the plane? I added this in here for my husband to show him that there is a Popeyes in India, and that means next time he's going to come with me. After an 8-hour day of traveling, we made it to our hotel that's called Tree of Life, and here are some images of how beautiful and serene the hotel is. I'm really happy we stayed here because it is peaceful and calm and outside of the hustle and bustle of the city. Because Varanasi is a very busy city. It is the holy city for Hindus. It is sometimes called the city of death because Hindus will travel to Varanasi to die because it is believed that if they die in Varanasi, they receive moksha, which means they won't have to repeat the cycle of birth and death. And people who are born here are considered respected and lucky that they were born in that city because they already would have received moksha because they will pass away there. And this was the view from my balcony from my room, and you saw how big my room was. I found these wooden shoes in the closet of my hotel room, and I tried to tap dance in them. And then the hotel offers a service of a foot soak where they bring you this golden bowl and some bath salts, and you soak your feet for 20 minutes, and it was the perfect way to end the day. And let me take you to the holy city of Varanasi. So the Hindus believe in several gods, but there are three main ones called Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu. And Brahma had an ego, and Shiva was not for it. Shiva was like, get over yourself, and decided to cut off his head. And that's how he dealt with it. So he was like, off with your head. And then he decided to carry the head around everywhere he went. And so he's carrying the head around, and he was like, oops, I dropped it. And he accidentally dropped it at the location where Varanasi started. And the head went down into the ground, and that is why the city is considered holy, because it's on top of this holy ground that kind of encased the head of Brahma. The next video gives you an idea of how crowded the streets were and the crazy honking. I'm never complaining about the traffic or the motorcycles at Virginia Beach again. This here is sugarcane, and they put the sugarcane through the motor, and it squeezes the juice out and makes this sweet sugarcane juice. This is an example of the electrical wiring here that is so crazy. I don't know how they don't have fires all the time, but it seems to work. I've never seen a fire, nor have I ever seen the fire department. And this little pouch is called Metha Pan, and it's eaten after dinner for digestion or to freshen your breath. And they put in a lot of different things like cardamom and cherries and syrups. And then they wrap it all up in this betel leaf is what it's called. And I tried it, and it was pretty gross. It tasted like cough syrup and grass mixed together. The other story about Varanasi was that it was a time of a great flood, and Shiva caught the water coming from the heavens in his matted hair, and that saved Varanasi, and it caused the water to flow into a river, which is now the Ganges River. But they don't call that the Ganges here, they call it Mother Ganga. And people come from afar as like a pilgrimage to just even put their feet in the river or bathe in the river, dunk themselves in the river because it's considered holy water. And what you're seeing here are logs that the family will purchase to build a pyre. So then after their loved one's body is dipped in the river, it's taken up to the pyre that they have built for cremation. Varanasi is actually one of the oldest cities, dating back to 1800 BCE. So the Ganga River flows from northwest to southeast, except at Varanasi, where it flows in the opposite direction, which also is a symbol that the river and the city is in a holy place. What was so awesome was that our group got to take a boat ride on the river, and we got to see the city from that perspective. And the ritual that the Hindus have for their deceased is that they will dip the body into the Ganga River to be submersed in the holy water, and then it's taken to the pyre for cremation, and this is on the riverbanks. And I just wanted to explain this and give you a heads up because the next images will show this particular process, and that can be upsetting for some. But I will tell you that when I witnessed it, what I saw was a ritual of peace, and it was emotional and it was sacred. And I felt that it showed how India views the process of life and death, and it was a meaningful experience for me.
And after that, they go upstairs and they make a big pile. We unwrap the body with all the shining stuff. We keep the body on that pile with one white cotton cloth only. Then we cover with some more food. So I was saying that this place is very special because there is a very unique combination of three important things. The first one is the temple or the god of death. Another one is a very special fire. We have a very special fire burning just below the temple in the arches. There is a special fire burning.
And you'll see here the person that is in the white robe. That is actually the eldest son of the family member that is getting cremated. One thing that I did learn is that there are some rules that some people are not allowed to be cremated, and that includes people with certain diseases like lepers and also pregnant women. So what they do is instead of cremating them, they will place stones on their bodies and put them in the river, and so that they do get to be placed in the river, just not through the cremation process. And there are times where those stones do not hold them down because the gases will bring them back up, and it is not uncommon to see a body floating in the river. Then we docked our boat and walked up some steps to a temple where we participated in a traditional Indian puja ceremony. For me, it wasn't about changing beliefs. It was more about honoring the rituals and sacred practices of a different culture. Moments like these remind me that people can celebrate the divine in different ways, but the one thing that I find that is consistent throughout my worship is the love that is felt and the peace and the joy within my internal being that connects to that universal heartbeat of the world. These monkeys really wanted to be part of the ceremony, or maybe they just wanted to steal the bananas. This one was like, hey, what you looking at? This is probably one of my favorite pictures. This is Charles. He's our tour guide. And also, he was our tour guide last year when I was in southern Indiana. So I really got to know him. And then Christine is the one that's leading this group. And then Lori is one of my good friends that I met here. And this is where I released what is called a Daya boat. It is a little bowl with flowers and a candle that I lit to place in the river as a symbol of gratitude and it to receive blessings and prosperity and good luck. And then, of course, we dipped our feet into the river, and this is a picture of my friend Elaine. And just when I think it couldn't get better, at sunset, we attended what's called an Aarti ceremony, which is so cool. It's a bunch of singing and chanting, and there's fire involved. The next minute or so is a video so you can see what it was all about. Then we got back onto our boat to see what it was like going down the river at night. And this was the time that we passed the party boat. This is why I love India. One minute you're passing the party bus on the river, and the next minute you're passing a sacred ritual of a loved one that has passed. And to the mind, having those two very stark realities doesn't make sense, but to the heart, it does make sense. And there is such a sense of peace. Having said that, our tour through Varanasi will be continued. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and remember to see love always.